There are a whole bunch of great cookie types around the world. We'll be focusing on the ones that I'm personally familiar with. So this will still be rigged, but I could pretend that this one, we're just here to judge the taste of the cookie, the flavors, our personal, no, our objective opinions on them. Yes, because these are very objective. Alfajor, I gotta say, I love the different textures that go on with this cookie. I love the different textures that go on with this. Like a nice snap. It's just filled cookies. Nice honey filling. On the Wikipedia, they said traditionally has like some almonds, just all covered in a great chocolate coating. Maybe you can't devour an entire tray of these, but when you get one of these, I feel wonderful. Even when I'm sick of eating them, I'm like, you know what? Maybe just one more. Have I had too many? Yes. Would that stop me from eating another? No. A for Alfajor, if I pronounced that right. Animal crackers, the great contribution of America themselves. Or, okay, you know what? Ignore 19th century England, okay? These ones, they're fine. They're fun. They're definitely fun. They're just like fake crackers and like zoo animals. They're fine by themselves. I can eat a packet of these, maybe two, but I feel like animal crackers really shine once you have something to dip them in. They're little one notes. As great as Bear question mark is, I think animal crackers themselves has to be a C. There's better. Is there worse? They go in C tier. Now, a biscotti. They're interesting. They're not what I traditionally think of as a cookie. They usually end up being a bit more on the dry side, like being a bit crumbly. Yeah, biscottis are really good with a beverage. With a hot drink, they're so satisfying. They're super great. Comfort levels very high up there. With drink, biscotti could be an A tier. If we're judging biscotti just by itself, like if you have like maybe just a cup of water or something, this could be like B, C. But with a hot drink, easily B, A tier, you know? Biscottis, for now, we'll put them in B tier. I'm a little torn. B for biscotti. Biscuits, eh? Another more like cracker cookie. They're better than animal crackers by themselves, I feel, but not by much. They're like in a similar ballpark, and obviously there's a lot of variations to a biscuit, like how sweet you want it, like just how crackly it is, like how much snap it has. So I think biscuits, solid B tier. It makes another great tea time snack. I'm not quite as strong as biscotti, but still solid. Barquillo. These are similar to like wafer sticks. Love these guys. They're a nice rolled up pastry. Once again, biscuit roll makes more sense. A cookie roll, a little bit of a stretch to me. If Wikipedia says they're cookies, I'm cool with that. I love how light these are. They have a great just bite to them. Ooh, slurp them with some milk, just as Malin said there. You can use them as a straw too. Why heck not, you know? Like another one that's like a bit more of a blank slate. They're very distinct though. They're not like a dense sweet cookie like the biscuits, but they're a light roll, which changes up their texture and changes up the experience a lot. I still don't know if they're enough to break A tier. B tier. Black and white cookie. These guys are when you guess one of the blank slate biscuits and you literally just go half and half. Do I want chocolate? Do I want vanilla? I don't know. I'll take both, please. I like the idea of having the contrast of the two different icing flavors, but I feel like they're lesser of both. They're the classic try to be too many things at once. I end up eating them and I don't say like, man, this is a nice cookie that hits both my cravings for black chocolate and white vanilla. These are just the cookies that I'm like, man, I wish I had a better chocolate cookie or better vanilla. They're pretty mid, I won't lie. I want to like them a lot more. Ooh, in Germany, you call these cookies Americans. You wouldn't call them cookies since they have such a thick cake-like body. You know what? Fair. So once again, the Wikipedia says they're cookies. I'm okay with calling them all cookies, right? But there's definitely a huge range here. Like there's like soft-served cookies, like a chocolate chip. We have the more crackery cookies, like the biscuits. Biscottis in a completely different world of themselves. And then, of course, like you mentioned there, Jonas, they're more cakey cookies, you know? But yeah, these guys, I gotta say, they leave a bit to be desired. Also, some of these are like disgustingly sweet. Ironically, them being too sweet left a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth, so I'm gonna put them in C tier. The Bourbon. The UK really likes just putting their names into cookies. Like right here, literally Bath Oliver, he invented this cookie and he printed his name as the inventor into the cookie itself. Oliver is just my favorite example here. The Digest cookies here, the other one here, the cream custard. You just print cream custard in case you forget what it is. Okay, but the Bourbon. Now we're going to cookie sandwich territory here, where this is a cookie, yes, but it's like filled with all type of cream. Bourbon ones, they're usually a bit softer, the cookies, but honestly, I'm feeling like another B tier. I am not a fan of just slapping a whole bunch of different chocolate flavors together. 4 cheese, I'll have 4 cheeses any day of the week. 4 different types of chocolate, now you're stretching it a little. That honestly brings it down the experience to me. A little tree here, little stocking here. This is a blank slate cookie that usually leans, but these type of cookies here, the bread de las, brie de la, gotta say, these guys usually lean towards a sweet side with having like a lot of icing. The Christmas tree here, for example, I already see the decoration. We slap it with some green icing. If you're feeling fancy, maybe you'll put like into like some little M&M, a gumdrop or something. These cookies are dunkable, like with milk or whatnot, but not like super dunkable. These cookies are not bad, but they're not exciting. And I don't know if that's just me being a bit mean towards them. I'm never not excited to eat these, but if I were to get like a wafer roll, those guys I get excited about. These lads here, I'm like, hey, cookie, I'm happy. But cookies, you know, who gets a cookie and feels sadness? That's my real question. If you're getting any of the cookies on this Wikipedia list, assuming you don't have some deep-seated drama, I don't think anyone's really feeling sad or upset by the presence of a cookie. Now, butter cookies. Now, to be fair, I have not tried premium Danish butter cookies. I've tried more like discount brands before. I know these shapes are supposed to have different flavors to them, and they do taste different. But you taste one of them, you have the basic profile for all of them. I can only judge butter cookies off of what I've tried before. Another just kind of like B tier. Now, carrot cake cookies. Ooh, boy. Personally, I like these more than I should, honestly. I really enjoy myself a good carrot cake. Carrot cake cookies, it's just carrot cake and you slap in some cream cheese icing in the middle. I love cream cheese icing. Now, if I were to think more critically, more objectively about the carrot cake cookies, it's a very soft cookie. It doesn't have good dunkability. This is another cookie like the Alpha Jar, where the experience is set for you already. Personally, honestly, this cookie is an A tier, maybe even an S tier. But also, just as you said there, Jonas, a carrot cookie feels like it would be better off as a cupcake. This does not feel like a cookie. I feel like it would also be better off as a cupcake. I completely agree with you there. It's just not a good cookie experience. I can't really justify much of their existence as a cookie other than that I like carrot cake and I don't care if it's a cookie. But as a cookie experience, either you like these or you don't. And if you don't like carrot cake, these guys are not changing your opinion on them. And for that, I will put them in C. Chocolate biscuit. Literally no Wikipedia article attached to it. I think it's the only one that does not have a wiki article. These guys look to be half covered. I think that does change the experience compared to when it's like a fully chocolate dunked cookie. When it comes to plainer cookies, this is my personal kind of ideal for cookies. When I think of like a plainer cookie that I enjoy, I think of chocolate biscuit. It's everything you like about biscuit. Good snap, nice flavor to it, and it's the little bit more. It's focused, it's consistent, and out of all of the variations of chocolate biscuits I've tried, you can't really screw these up. They're not leaps and bounds better than a biscuit to warrant to give them an A tier. It doesn't really feel right. Generally, I'm considered more of a B tier cookie. Next up is an American classic, a chocolate chip cookie. These cookies, I feel, have what chocolate biscuits lacked, where they're a solid cookie both by themselves and complementary to a lot of different beverages as well. The classic warm soft serve cookie combined with like a nice chilled milk. Maybe it's the bias living in North America. These both have the extra oomph that a chocolate biscuit have while having the flexibility of the biscuits. Biscuits here, they're good, they're crunchy, which I like, but they lack a little bit of a built-in oomph. Chocolate chip cookies, I feel, have that built-in oomph factor while staying super flexible. And I think with that, they should be an A tier cookie. Chocolate covered marshmallow treats. I always eat one. I always try a new one. I'll try out a new brand. And every time I am left disappointed. I feel like, man, I just ingested 200 calories and I feel nothing. I like marshmallows. I enjoy chocolate. I enjoy cookies. Once again, it's trying to be too much. I prefer marshmallows when they're roasted, when they have a nice like caramelized shell around them, and then you bite into that shell and that contrast textures. That is wonderful. But just to plain marshmallows by themselves are pretty mid. You got them from childhood often, so you may be a bit biased. You know what? More love to them. It's good to have differing opinions. Maybe I just don't like the marshmallow by itself, but not even just the marshmallow. The cookie is always underwhelming. I feel like if this was a marshmallow covered in chocolate and it had a biscuit inside, like one of these biscuits over here, they would be easy B tier, maybe even an A tier. But for me, whenever I buy them, the cookie is never a cookie. It's just like soft. It's just soft. It's saddening. But I acknowledge what they do good and I see potential in them. That's why I always try a new one. But I am honestly feeling more of a C tier right now. Christmas cookies, these are easy. I like the variety where they're like icing or the little like sparkle glitter. They're classic. They're like normal cookies, but decorated. Exactly. I don't think they're quite exciting enough to get to a B tier. I'm gonna keep them C. C for Christmas cookie. You know, Cornish bearing. These ones have more natural oomph to them. They're still closer to like a blank state cookie, but more so than just like the animal crackers or these guys. I feel like this is another B tier. I enjoy these. Cream cracker? Can we agree that this is not a cookie? This is literally a cream cracker. Yeah, definitely not a cookie, right? I was worried I was gonna have to argue why these are not cookies. I'm not eating this like with like a cup of coffee or like a glass of milk. Oh gosh, I do not want garlic and herbs cream cheese getting mixed in with my milk in the morning. Good attempts. You're on the wiki page, but I don't think you count. Digest biscuits. These guys go great if you're baking them into like a cake or whatnot. But as a cookie by itself, these are kind of boring. I think biscuits are plain, but they're nice. They're satisfying. I think digest cookies go in D tier for digest. They're kind of lame, you know? I'm sorry. I feel like they're kind of lame. They do not excite my cookie senses. Ooh, Emperor biscuits. If digest cookies were the face of a plain cookie, Emperor biscuits is like the face of like British tea time, I feel like, at least to a Westerner. Another one of those set experiences. This is when you get a biscuit here and you sort of bougie up it. What really makes or breaks these types of cookies is the icing that's being used, the type of filling that you're using it, depending on like the dropping on top. This could be like A tier or it could be a B tier. And I'm not eating an entire tray of these like I would Christmas cookies or chocolate chip cookies. I'm eating 5 of these max and I'm enjoying it, washing it down with like my drink of choice. This I think I can put this in A tier, you know? B tier here seems to be a lot of neutral cookies. The Emperor cookie has identity, which is lacking in some of these other ones, like the biscotti, the whatnot. Fig roll. Another one? Is this really a cookie though? If it's like a fig bar? If we're looking at something like this, I could argue that, okay, sure, a fig roll, that could be a cookie. Something more like this, where they're like really tall and pop, they feel almost like a baked roll. It's a pastry, exactly, pastry. I would not consider the fig roll to be a cookie. The fortune cookie. Now, the tricky part is if you're eating them by yourself, it's like a C tier. It's a plain cookie. You can't really do much of it. You can try dipping it, but it's not really gonna work out. But if you're eating a fortune cookie at the end of a meal, that changes the experience because it's like a light cleanser and there is value in just having something to like reset yourself. It doesn't have too much flavor. It has a nice snap, good texture. By themselves, I gotta put them in C tier though. Fudge cookies, fun. They're the flavored cookie you're looking for. But honestly, I'm not a big fudge guy and I don't know why. I enjoy chocolate a lot, but fudge, so I'm gonna put those in B tier. Gingerbread, this is not a cookie. Gingerbread man, if you're getting them at a store, they're pretty mid. If you're baking them yourselves, they're nice. By themselves, undecorated, they're C tier. They're C tier. Ginger snaps though, that's a different experience. I could also be a bit biased because I did bake a lot of ginger snaps, and for that, I gotta put them in the B tier. Gotta love the name here. A jammy dodger. Similar to the Emperor biscuit, it depends on the filling. For the potential jammy dodgers can have, I'm gonna put them in A tier. Lay fingers, I go back and forth on lay fingers. By themselves, I can only eat so many, you know? They're nice, but lay fingers go really nice as a dipping thing. I think with that, lay fingers gets a B. They can also be a bit boring though, but I like how they're a bit more buttery, right? They have a bit of a stronger flavor, makes them a B tier, similar to a biscotti. Macarons are so sweet. I've never had a fresh baked macaron before. Fresh baked macarons, I imagine, are a lot better, but grocery store ones are so sickeningly sweet, but they have a really nice crackly shell in it, and that I like. I feel like they're a little overhyped. I have to give them a B, just out of experience alone. The only Canadian cookie in the entire list. Good old maple leaf cookie. If you're Canadian, they're fantastic, but they're honestly kind of mid. Sometimes the maple syrup gets really strong, and this is another set experience cookie. If you want a sweet cookie with some maple syrup, that's it. But honestly, I'm feeling this is their B tier, honestly. So it lacks subtlety. It's a very upfront flavor. Nice biscuit. Obvious S tier right here. But honestly, nice biscuits, they're just biscuits. They're boring. C tier. Oatmeal raisin cookies. I love myself a good oatmeal raisin cookie. I know a lot of people can have strong feelings in them, saying they're like complete trash or whatnot, but oatmeal raisin cookies are different. You cannot get experience like oatmeal raisin cookies. They have a completely different cookie texture, a different flavor profile. I want to put this in something like an A or another B tier. Look, I'm putting a lot of things in B tier right now, but it's kind of hard. Cookies aren't really like bad, especially if we're not talking about specific brands. Peanut butter cookies. They appear simple, but peanut butter cookies are really nice. I think I have to give it an A tier. If not, because if I put it A lower, I feel like the peanut butter cookie lovers will really go against. I like how this is a different spin on the standard cookie. They're like fundamentally changing the taste of a cookie to give you a different experience, similar to the oatmeal cookie. The pretzeli, more of a wafer than a cookie. I like how light they are, but there's something that I kind of go back and forth on. Is like something I really enjoy, but I haven't had it in a long time. But when I eat like a lot of them, I've had enough. They're a bit plain. They don't really go good with like drinks because they don't absorb liquid. I feel like they're C tier. Rich tea biscuit. Honestly kind of a D. This looks more like just like a cracker. It's like really similar to just a digest cookie. You know, I could eat some animal crackers, honestly, and they'd give me a similar kick. Oh, cookie sandwich. This really depends on the cookie itself. For example, if we're getting like Oreos, they're really good with milk, but honestly, sometimes I prefer something like an Oreo Thin a bit more. I like crispy, crunchy textures a lot. I enjoy myself like a soft, ooey gooey cookie wookie, but they're not really my immediate go-to. Cookie sandwiches. This is like so broad. A cookie sandwich is defined by the cookie that's housing like the top and bottom, but then also the filling itself. I feel like cookie sandwiches in general has to be C because there's so many different ways to approach them. I feel like it would be right to put them quite at a B because some of them can be like kind of bad, you know? Oreos themselves, I think they could get like a B tier, definitely, but cookie sandwiches as a whole, could put that in C tier. Shortbread cookies, they're so cute. They provide a kind of a denser cookie experience, but shortbread is also another one that feels like a blank slate. You know, you can definitely have shortbread by itself, but this is another blank slate type of cookie. I feel like they're different from the biscuits and the Revelas or whatever they were called. So I'm just gonna shove them over in B tier here. A sugar cookie now. I feel like a lot more of the fun is messing with the sugar cookie formula itself. They're B tier. They allow a lot of self-expression. Last one, Guffed cookie. This is not a cookie here. I don't know what this is. This is not a cookie. This does not feel like a cookie. This feels like a pastry. There's no better way to end a cookie tier list with just saying I'm not gonna rank this cookie because this isn't a cookie.